One night, one knife, one act that stopped the entire world. In 1993, a single crime became a global headline, late-night jokes, courtroom debates, and national outrage. Was she a monster, or was she a victim pushed too far? A young woman fled into the darkness, holding a knife, while America argued, laughed, judged, and chose sides. Her name was Lorena Bobbitt, and this was not just a crime, it was a cultural earthquake. Lorena Gallo was born in 1970 in Ecuador, and later moved to the United States in search of opportunity and stability. She was young, hopeful, and vulnerable when she met John Wayne Bobbitt, a former U.S. Marine. Their relationship moved quickly, fueled by attraction and promises of a better future. But behind closed doors, their marriage would descend into a cycle of fear, control, and violence, one that would eventually explode into one of the most infamous crimes in modern history. According to Lorena, the marriage was marked by physical abuse, sexual assault, and emotional torment. She described repeated rapes, threats, and humiliation. Friends later confirmed seeing bruises and signs of distress, but in the early 1990s, domestic violence was rarely taken seriously, especially when reported by immigrant women with limited resources. Lorena felt trapped, financially dependent, isolated, and terrified. Each day, the pressure grew. Each night, the fear returned. On June 23, 1993, after allegedly being raped again, Lorena snapped. In a state of emotional shock and psychological collapse, she went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and severed her husband's penis while he slept. She then fled the house and threw it out of her car window into a field. The act was violent, shocking, and unprecedented. Emergency responders later recovered the severed organ and surgically reattached it. John Bobbitt survived, but America would never forget the case. The crime became instant global news. Talk shows made jokes. Headlines sensationalized the act. Lorena Bobbitt's pain became entertainment. Rarely did the media discuss her allegations of abuse. Instead, the focus remained on shock value. The case exposed a disturbing truth. Society was more interested in laughing at the crime than understanding the trauma behind it. During the trial, Lorena's defense argued temporary insanity caused by long-term abuse. Psychologists testified that she was suffering from battered woman syndrome. For the first time on such a massive stage, domestic violence entered the courtroom conversation. Prosecutors argued that the act was deliberate and criminal. The jury was faced with a difficult question. Was Lorena Bobbitt a criminal or a woman pushed beyond human limits? In January 1994, Lorena Bobbitt was found not guilty by reason of temporary insanity. She was released after a short psychiatric evaluation. The verdict divided the nation. Some saw justice, others saw danger. But one thing was undeniable. The case permanently changed how America talked about domestic abuse, mental health, and women defending themselves. Lorena later changed her name and dedicated her life to domestic violence awareness. She avoided the spotlight and worked with abuse survivors, determined not to be remembered only for one moment of violence, but for the truth behind it. Meanwhile, John Bobbitt's later criminal history further complicated public perception of the case. Lorena Bobbitt didn't just shock the world, she forced it to look in the mirror. Her story asks uncomfortable questions. How much pain is too much? When does survival become crime? This was never just a headline. It was a warning about silence, abuse, and the cost of ignoring victims.